That was a baby with its own. Listen, you might not like.
So this is called Pro-Life 3rd edition. Well, it's called Change My Mind. I guess the Haga pulls up to like college campuses with the position and debates and wants the person to change his mind.
Oh, he does like a 20v1 type shit?
Yeah, something like that. So let's see.
No, that was a baby. Let me tell you something. What you ended was a unique genetic code that had eye color, hair color, how tall it would be, how much it would weigh, its personality, proclivity toward mental illness, what kind of hair pattern to male pattern baldness. When you had that abortion performed, you eliminated all of that. That's a scientific fact.
Time for the latest installment of Change My Mind, where we rationalize our positions on controversial issues. Now, given the recent news, we decided to revisit abortion, and this go around, a lot of notable interactions took place.
Quick question for all the women. Of all of those women that have their hands raised, which one of you would rather be forced to carry an unwanted pregnancy to term?
I would. I don't live in kid.
So it's like once they get pregnant, then it's just like damn, like now I'm not chilling right now. It's like they gotta like.
I could take a culture of your skin cells off, and I could be like, oh, that's a human because that's a culture of growing cells.
Nope.
See, like right here, the baby's not ready to go out to the world and like chill, you know. Like they're not ready to go out.
Are you for real with this? The baby's not ready to go out and chill? I'm gonna guess you're 2 years in college right now.
Oh, that's a good guess.
Effectively, it is a parasitic relationship between a fetus and a woman.
Yeah? You studying philosophy?
Actually, yeah.
Okay, there you go.
I'm here to shut down your bullshit.
As per usual, comment below your opinions on abortion and the current laws, along with which topics you'd want to see most discussed for future installments. Of course, if you want to keep these coming and ensure that long-form conversation like these continue, join Mug Club at louderwithcrowder.com/mugclub. And we'll actually have another installment with multiple conversations uploaded soon, but I wanted to give one particular interview its own attention in this episode because of all the Change My Mind segments we've conducted. This one became the most intensely personal.
Hi, how are you?
Meet Yara.
I'm really trying not to. People were hyping my nerves in there. So.
Oh, really? What's your name?
Yara.
Yara Steven, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, Yara. So you just
before this, I just want to say no personal offense to either one of us. Like
I appreciate that.
Your opinion.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And I know you just said you have to calm yourself down because people are hyping your nerves.
I do. I need to calm down for a second.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you need? You were hoping there was some.
Water.
You know, it's the legality of we can't necessarily give people water because then they go, I got salmonella, and then they point to me. You know, with the YouTube channel. So. You seem like you're upset. Obviously, the sign is pretty clear. I'm pro-life. You've been listening to some conversations. If you disagree with my position, you're welcome to change my mind. But you still need to calm your nerves. What are you so upset about?
One thing that definitely really strikes a chord with me is the fact that a majority of women who have actually had to face the choice of abortion, it is because it was either necessary, it was medically necessary, or it was just a decision that really was the fork in the road of your future. Mm-hmm. And from my understanding, a majority of men, I understand they pay child support. I understand that a man is half what it takes to create a child.
Sure.
But when you are by yourself and you are alone and it is dark and you have to face, do I lose my future? Like, do I throw away my education? Mm-hmm. I can go back. Yeah, you always say I can go back, but that's twice as hard raising a child by yourself. I watched my mom as a single mother, and I don't want that life for myself. And abortion itself, it's a right. I understand the legalities behind late abortion, and I do not support it unless it is medically necessary.
Okay.
In the terms of it would kill the mother, the fetus is no longer viable.
Can I pause you real quick? Just because you've gone to a few different things.
Yeah. Real quick, I just wanted to say that's crazy that the fucking the light skin that we just watched only won by 3% to Crystal Marie.
What?
Insane.
You made a poll? Hold on, you made a poll.
I did a poll, bro. All right.
Yo.
Crystal Marie only lost by 3%.
Damn, to the half breed?
To the half breed.
Yes.
First off, appreciate you being so forthcoming with your personal story. You didn't have to do that, so I do appreciate that.
I understand a lot of people are not willing to talk about it.
Well, thank you very much. As far as yourself, if you don't want to be a single mother, go through that life, don't have sex, use contraception. See, I'm not against choice. I believe there are 4 choices. Abstinence, contraception, motherhood, adoption. I'm just against hold on one second. I'm just against the one that involves killing another human being. And I think it's very important here to go back to the very first thing that you said, which was most abortions are medically necessary, and then you said, or it's a fork in the road in determining your future. Conflating those I think is pivotal because most abortions performed are not medically necessary. You're right with the second half. Most are performed because the mother at that point doesn't want to deal with the consequences of her previous actions.
Can I pause you right there real quick?
Sure.
Going back to the 4 choices that you just said, abstinence, which right now let's realistically look at the rates of teen sexual activity, that's not happening. And especially, no, hold on. In this state, we do not recognize sex education for what it is. We decide to teach abstinence instead of safe sex, and that's been proven to not work. Contraceptives. Birth control is a hormone. It will change my hormone balance. It physically changes my body. And in some cases, it can do more harm than good. There are some women who can't take it, who can't handle it. And yes, I understand there's adoption as well.
Well, while we're dealing, by the way, with abstinence, it is a choice. I was abstinent until I got married.
You're a very rare few.
Well,
Congratulations.
But just because it's rare doesn't mean that it's not a decision. Let me finish. Just because it's rare doesn't mean that it's not a decision. Contraception isn't only, hold on one second, contraception doesn't involve only hormonal birth control. It also involves a 50-cent rubber that you could get at a truck stop.
That rubber is not 100%.
You're right, it's not 100%. And every time you engage in sexual intercourse, you know that you are engaging in an activity that could lead to a baby.
And I understand that, but then there's also the fact
and then we said motherhood, adoption. You can continue with those.
Well, I mean, if you want to get into adoption, let's look at the thousands of babies who are in the foster program right now.
Definitely skip right past motherhood. Well, if you want to get into adoption, and then she's gonna tell us how she knows like the statistics and stuff.
Right now, I mean, I understand not having late-term abortions unless it's medically necessary, but my whole point is women who are pro-choice make this decision, and anybody who wants to argue on a religious basis, at the end of the day,
I haven't.
Not you. I'm just saying a majority, like not a majority, a portion of people who do want to make that religious argument.
They're not here. That's irrelevant. So let's just talk about the science.
Well, then in that case, on adoption, let's go back to that. Adoption. Okay. So those children are still in the foster care program right now. Theoretically speaking, let's say abortion was completely taken away. What happens with the influx of births that are going to occur? What's going to happen with the women who don't want those children, who initially didn't want that child, and do give them up for adoption? And we have a huge surplus of more children in the foster care program who then will not be adopted, just as the many thousands that are in it right now.
So, can I answer that? It sounds to me, first off, like a lot of absolvement of responsibility. But just because someone is a burden, is that how we place value on human life? If someone is more burdensome because they're unwanted, they have no intrinsic value as a human.
Do you want to be realistic?
No, I want to determine what.
But I'm saying like in the sense of burdening.
Yeah.
We don't want to take the burden. I know it's a different topic, but it's just something similar. We don't want to take the burden of some of our mistakes on a day-to-day basis, but yet it's not as polar opposite as this right now. As in the sense of like, I can't bring up other topics because then we're going to get off topic.
Yeah,
so
we'll get off topic.
Go ahead. Yeah,
it sounds like we're absolving women, both women and men, by the way. I don't know if you consider yourself, a feminist at all, or but I certainly wouldn't let men off the hook as you are right here. Listen, both women and men have a responsibility to either be abstinent, use proper contraception. It's 2018. I don't believe for a second that people are not aware of the contraception methods available to them. And then also be parents and provide a baby up for adoption. Yeah. And there are plenty of services out there. It sounds to me like absolving people from a lot of responsibility, and again, none of this is okay if it's a human life.
Some of those government
it's not
services
a choice if it's a human
should
life.
Should help deter women from wanting to have an abortion are not as easily acceptable as everybody thinks that they are. Just because you make a certain amount of money per year means that you don't qualify for the government aid, the health care programs that are available. I don't qualify for them. I slipped through the cracks because I am right in the middle. So, because I had nobody to help me, and yes, I can be another person on government subsidies as well as my child. But do you really want to pay for those subsidies? I don't have a child. I'm saying theoretically.
Okay.
Do you want to pay for my subsidies that I would be requiring from the government?
No, of course not.
You don't? No?
No.
Okay,
and I know where this is going now. We're going to go and say, well, you're not really pro-life unless you support insert socialized program here.
Not necessary.
The difference is I'm pretty consistent across the board. I'm pro-life, meaning you cannot kill another human being inside the womb or outside of the womb. So I think the pivotal question becomes, you talk about the choice. And now we've provided 4 choices. You just believe that believe it's a human right to provide a 5th choice. So in that case, I think it's very important for you to, I guess, explain to me why that's not a human life.
That's not necessarily something that you can explain according to biology.
Sure it is.
Technically, you can say that it is a human life, but I'm not going to get into that conversation because you can tail dog me all day long on it.
No, I think. Hold on a second. Doesn't that matter? Isn't the most important question, if you are potentially killing a human being?
When do you believe that when do you believe that the point of life
hold on a second. Let me continue on. I will answer that question, but let me continue on this logic trail here. If you are advocating for abortion, and we both acknowledge that it could be potentially ending a human life, isn't it important for you to be able to prove that it's not?
Why is it okay to end human life only when the government says that we can?
It's not okay to end human life against one's will.
Do you know what the Army does every day?
Well, listen, we're talking about wars. We're talking about wars, and we're talking about self-defense.
And millions
killing
of
an innocent child. Killing an innocent child. Okay? Let me ask you this: you approve of that?
No, I don't approve.
Okay, so then you wouldn't approve of it happening in a womb, correct?
I don't approve of you saying that a child in a womb is going to be the de facto of what happens in my life, because if I decide if I'm forced
I don't appreciate a person killing another human being. So I get that you say I don't want you to have a say in my life, but I don't want to have a say in your life. I only want to have a say in that life.
By changing the legalities of the laws that I live, the laws that affect me and the millions of other women that have to have the abortion, because let me tell you right now, have to have the abortion.
So you only support abortion if it's medically necessary?
No, I didn't say that.
Well, then what do you mean by have to have?
You're putting words in my mouth.
Okay, so then what do you mean have to have the abortion then?
As in, it's a choice. If I don't have the abortion, then I have to quit school.
If
I have to
choice,
go
you don't
back
have
home.
to have it.
I have to.
Have to implies there's no choice.
There is no choice. Whenever it comes to sitting there and weighing your options and actually having to carry to term and deal with the already extreme changes that happen in your body, like until you have physically carried something in you, until you have had to face the decision. I'm not saying it's something that's beautiful. I'm not saying that people are out here having tea parties and getting an abortion afterwards. No, it's not pretty.
Well, some people are. They were doing the Shout Your Abortion campaign.
It's the really ugly truth of what we had to do. There's plenty of other men in history who will say those same words. We had to do what we had to do, whether it be...
This is exactly why the shit needs to be turned off in the very beginning. And when you are ready and you feel like you are in the right position in life, you can go ahead, get it turned back on, have your child, you know what I'm saying, enjoy it, you know, versus like, you know... falling for the okey doke because a motherfucker want to fuck you, and he tell you that he love you, and he tell you he want to be with you, and he tell you want to do this and he want to do that, and then he fucks you and then he leaves you, and then now you're stuck with, you know, a baby, and then you got to decide on whether you're going to get an abortion or not. This is exactly what I say, bro. It should be turned off. You know, I don't know how feasible that is, but bro, turn it off immediately as soon as it's healthy for a male or a female to have it turned off. Turn it off. Okay? If a female wants to be promiscuous and be out fucking and stuff, then let her go get her fuck on. Okay, I don't judge a woman differently than a man. I know there's like terms that we use like hoe and all that type of shit, but at the end of the day, bro, like men and women both alike love sex. Okay, like sex. I won't say love it. They like it, enjoy it. Okay, if a female want to go sleep with 100 niggas, bro, go do your thing, mama. Okay, same for a man.
Pretty or not, I can understand the moral obligations that you feel.
No, not feel.
And well, that you
we all have a moral.
have.
No, we all have a moral obligation
But
to not kill other people against their will. Period.
If
That's
they
not
don't
opinion.
have a will because they don't have a thought.
Yeah.
Damn. Yo, he called abortion death against will, my nigga. God damn.
It's, you know, like, so like what's the thought process like when you know, as far as like a fetus, do you feel like that's a human being?
I go by the technical term. So technically, once it has a heartbeat and all of that shit, yeah, it's human.
Okay. Is that
Now, if
after
you're talking about within the first month or two, I think it's like 6 weeks or some shit. I don't know.
Let me see.
You know?
When does a fetus develop a heartbeat? A fetus typically develops a heartbeat around 5 weeks of pregnancy. When the heart
Yeah,
begins
see,
to
so
beat
that's what I'm saying.
regularly.
Like, yeah,
Okay.
I'm with that. Like, so, like, if you're gonna fucking,
If you're gonna get
Plan
it out of
B
you,
it.
you got to get it out of you before that 5 weeks.
yeah, like, it gotta be like a plan B type shit. Like, oh shit, I had unprotected sex,
Yeah.
or some shit, or oh shit, I missed my period. Let me go in to the doctor to see what's going on. I missed my period, because that's gonna be around the 4 week, 5 week point.
Yeah.
Then once the doctor tell you you're pregnant or not, then you know what I mean. Like, you know, that's just me though. Other people, they say months and shit, but me, like, bro, that shit got a heartbeat. The brain is fucking there. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Come on, man.
All right, shout out to that, Melissa. I keep my mouth shut on topics like this. You being probably the only female in here right now. No, I would encourage you to, you know, if you have something to say, definitely.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, 100%. We neither me or Ronzo Altigo is going to attack you or anything like that. You know, I definitely would love to.
We're just
hear-
having conversations. It's not gonna be some, you know, controlling shit where get out of my chat. Get
See,
out.
that's why, like, sometimes, bro, like, yeah, I know motherfuckers love the fuck shit and stuff like that, but never get it twisted. The fuck shit was always supposed to be mingled in with conversation.
Yeah.
Okay, I love conversation. I love points of views, and again, we don't have to agree. You know, we can agree to disagree, and we don't have to disrespect
Yeah.
each other.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
absolutely.
But okay, so a fetus typically develops a heartbeat around 5 weeks of pregnancy when the heart begins to beat regularly. Although the initial heart development starts around week 3.
Damn.
Okay, and of just what'd you call it? Gestation.
Yeah, gestation. Yeah.
Okay, so gestation is what, like the inside, when the baby's inside the body.
Yeah, the baby's inside is being that develop mental part, like where the egg is being cracked
Yeah.
by the damn sperm, and then that whole process right there. Yeah.
Okay.
Damn.
Shout out to that, Melissa. Everything I say can and will be used against me. All right.
Damn, Melissa. Yeah.
Listen, you're more than welcome to just watch us talk about
Salute.
it. Okay.
Salute.
Damn, 3 weeks, bro. That's crazy. That's a short amount of
Gotta be
time.
on
Like, so
it.
like when do
Gotta be
like
on it.
women even start saying to themselves, like, oh shit, something's up? You know? Let me see.
I think that missed period, bro.
Yeah,
That
but the
missed
missed
period.
isn't that 4 weeks?
Oh,
So by the
shit.
time you miss the period, like the fucking heartbeats already started developing.
Damn.
Which sucks, you know what I mean? Like, you know, to take
That's why just
away-
plan B it. Just why bitches can't just plan B it, bro. Like, that's like instant. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you fucking nigga, you know it's unprotected. You know you don't let him cream pie you,
Yeah.
right? Go get the plan B. That's 2 days right there. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Come on, man.
Okay, I asked Google, when can a woman tell that she's pregnant? A woman can tell she is pregnant as early as a week or 2 after conception. but it usually happens around 2 weeks after a missed period. So that's like 6 weeks.
What the fuck?
However, some women may not notice a missed period if their periods are irregular. You know, and I'm only saying 6 weeks because a period technically is monthly. You know, and it usually lands around the same time every month. So that's like a full month right there. You know, so if you're telling me 2 weeks after a fucking missed period, my nigga, you going on 6 weeks. The heart's already
No,
gone.
but I think you a chick could only get pregnant, like she only ovulates. Remember, there's like an ovulation period that the bitch can only get pregnant too. And I think that's like right before the period is supposed to start, I think. So that's why they're saying like, okay, if she's ovulating week 1, the period is supposed to come week 2. Now by week 3, you missed the period. She was ovulating. She probably got pregnant right there. You know, so that's probably what it is right there. That's probably why they say 2 or 3 weeks. Because technically it's ovulation, then the period's supposed to come, but the period don't come. Yeah. That's what I'm gonna go with.
Yo, as I think about it, I'm like, damn, bro, it's pretty scary to be a woman, bro. You know what I mean? Like, that shit's scary, nigga. Like, if you think about it, nigga, like, you got a body part on you that every man out here wants to stick his dick inside.
It's like a minefield.
Yeah, and on top of that, like, shit, like, every man wants to definitely be up in his fucking pussy raw. So imagine, you know, and then, you know, when you do, you know, if and when you do get pregnant, my nigga, it's like having an alien inside of you. Nigga. So fuck. It's like the alien movies that niggas watch where the fucking thing moving around. Like, I've always thought it was like pretty cool, but also scary. Like when you see a woman that's pregnant and she be like, "Oh, you wanna touch it?"
Feel it, kicking all of that shit.
They be like, "Yo, put your hand right here." Many women have done this, right? And I actually, like, I'm very respectful of women because, like, I don't think all women like their bellies touched, right? But I'm also very curious to where if you let me touch it, I do want to touch it. I want to feel it, and it's fucking weird, bro. When you feel that fucking leg push, nigga, or the foot. Or even
when it's stretching out.
Yeah, even when the woman don't want you to touch it, they'll say, "Well, look right here, it's about to happen." And you look, and you see like a little footprint in that motherfucker. And it's just like, wow.
Oh my gosh.
Right? It's like it's straight out of the fucking movie Aliens.
No.
Exactly like having an alien growing in your body. Yeah, hell yeah, you got a whole human being. And then, you know, like, salutes to C-sections and shit like that. But, like, technically, that fucking human is supposed to come out of your pussy.
Yeah, technically.
That's crazy. A fucking little pussy hole like this, nigga. Even a bitch that's fucking stretched the fuck out got a big pussy hole. My nigga, that pussy hole is nowhere near the size of a head.
Yeah. She's still getting stitched up. She getting every bitch getting stitched up. Every bitch.
You know? And then, you know, a lot of women, you know, that give birth, like, you know, I've heard like epidurals and stuff like that to help with the pain and shit like that. But like, my nigga, come on, bro. You got a whole human about to come out your vajayjay. That gotta hurt like hell, nigga.
Yo.
That's just scary. I'm glad to be a male, bro. Okay, mama, thank you. Thank you for making me a male or whatever. I guess it was a mama, but, you know, I appreciate being a male. I respect women for what they have to go through, but boy, oh boy, that's crazy.
Bruh, speaking of birth, once again, I'm not hearing nobody talk about the fact that Michael confirmed that Controller daughter was born a junkie.
Yo, shit.
Okay?
Yeah.
And that she had to be held in the hospital for 30 days on a detox drip.
That's crazy. A baby.
Why nobody talking about that? Because Controller denies that shit. My daughter was not born on drugs. He said for 30 days she stayed in that hospital. Detox drip.
That's crazy, bro. That's crazy that as a female, like, having a baby, you just couldn't put the drugs on pause until you were done with the baby.
Until the last, like, you know what I mean? And giving birth. You're in labor. In labor now is no drugs. Like, come on, man.
That's crazy,
That
bro.
shit crazy.
Yeah, and sad at that, bro. Like, a baby to be born with, like drugs in its system.
Yeah, and detox, spending the first month of his life on detox. That's wild as hell.
I wonder what I wonder, and I don't necessarily know this. I wonder if they're able to, or if they keep track of like a baby that is born with drugs in its system and has to go through a detox. How often does that baby end up becoming a drug addict later in life?
Oh, do they enter them into a study? That's
Yeah,
a good
I
question.
wonder.
Damn, that's a good question. Is controller currently active in a study?
You know what I
Damn.
mean? So like if you think about it, like if we use Controller as an example, right? So Controller's daughter was born with drugs in her system, right? And had to be
Yeah.
on some type of detox.
Yeah.
Now, Ellie, at the age that she is, obviously she's not a drug addict. She's not doing any drugs. But what's the chances that because of the way she was born, it will affect her once she's able to make her own decisions?
Like that 16, 17, 18-year-old point. Like, damn.
Yeah. I also
How likely would she be to do drugs right there?
Yeah.
Damn.
And even now during her childhood, like what is the thought process in Ellie, right? And the reason I say this is so there's been multiple times, right? And technically this is what folks used to call CPS on Jules, right? But there has been multiple times where, like we're smoking in the garage and like Dom is always trying to poke his head in there. He's either always trying to poke his head in there or he's like
being curious.
Yeah, but how much of that curious is that is it in him already? Yeah, because Dom also does this, right? Where all of a sudden this nigga want to play outside when niggas is smoking in the garage, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he'll do dumb shit like he'll walk by, and then he forgets something. He got to go back in the house. He's walking by again.
He got to constantly be walking by the smell.
He's constantly walking by the smoke. So is he taking in this smoke? If you think about it, him, a child, a small body that is not a regular smoker, my nigga, one of them cloud smokes, you don't know. It might get him a little high. It might get him a little high, and let's be for real.
With the contact, he catching the
contact, nigga. And let's be for real, bro. Like, for all of us that have smoked, my nigga, we're having fun when we're high. Like especially like weed. I don't really see like
it's to relax. It's to relax.
I don't see motherfuckers really like smoking weed and then going and fucking killing niggas. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, you smoking weed is really supposed to be a like a kind of to calm you down,
A chill sesh.
a chill. You know what I'm saying? So, in the instance, and I use that example to say, in the instance of Controller smokes upstairs
all day long.
So the thing is that the contact is everywhere. Like when that daughter comes into the house, and who know, I don't know if people are able to get what is that called, a humidifier. Would that clean out all the air though if she had a humidifier?
Nah, she has to get a air. They have machines that look like the humidifier that you're talking about, but what it does is it actively purifies the air. So she would have to get an air purifier.
Yeah.
It's about the same. Well, it's like $200, $250. That's what people like to smoke indoors. You put that shit right by where you smoking, you turn it on. All that's. I think David Stone had one.
Mm.
Yeah, but that's what you need, a air purifier, 100%. But she got every fucking smoking gadget in the world except for an air purifier that she should be having sitting right next to her.
Crazy.
And
then she
crazy as hell.
literally, it's like they're literally across the hall from each other. I think a person like me, I could stand in the hallway and probably touch both of them doors with my span. So like, bro, they're that close. It's there.
Yeah.
It's in the air. Is the little girl catching contact? Does she feel, oh shit, you never know. How often is that leading to her wanting to smoke? Because I've been told Jules, I've been pointed this out. I've been told Jules, And I've been warned her like, yo, my nigga, like Dom's gonna end up being a smoker. I hope you know that. You know?
Yeah.
Because you could tell, my nigga, like every time niggas is smoking, that little higga trying to be right there, nigga.
Yeah, so now
Every
the day one of his friends got it and he identified the smell, and one of the friends got it, he gonna be on it. He gonna be like, yes, this is what mommy been doing, you know? So
especially and that's something that like, like your mother does every fucking day, my nigga. Like in the morning, before she taking y'all niggas, she's sitting there smoking. In the afternoon, like she's sitting there smoking. Like at night before you go to bed, when you say goodnight to her, you're coming into the garage to say goodnight and catching contact. And who knows? Because let me tell you something before, and this is on my mama, my nigga. Before I came into the picture, my nigga Jules used to smoke inside the house. Like, like right there.
Like in the living room, like watching TV.
I'm not going to say that I ever seen Jules like smoking, like, and her child is sitting right next to her smoking, but my nigga, you're still smoking inside the house, bro. At some point, them kids are going to run by. They're going to catch some type of contact. It was me that used to criticize her and criticize her and criticize her. And little by little, it went from smoking in the house to smoking in the garage to smoking outside. Then somehow, some way, she found her way back into the garage. There have been instances, even after I got her to stop smoking inside the house, that she would be like, man, this is my house, though, man. Why can't I just smoke in the house? And I used to tell her, look, Jules, you do whatever the fuck you want to do. But my nigga, that shit, like you just waiting for a problem, especially having a nigga like me around. You got a nigga like, and this is all due offense to my damn self. You got a nigga like me around that's on the internet talking shit. My nigga, I'm surprised that CPS didn't show up sooner to Jules's house. The only thing I ever told Jules was, bruh, the CPS thing is really based off of who my opponent is. Okay? When I came into the back and forth with Controller, bruh, Controller the type of person to call CPS, or she's the type of person that will incite her crowd to call CPS.
Yeah.
I wasn't really dealing with the CPS type thing when I was going back and forth with Skinny. You feel me? His audience, they would call a job. They weren't calling CPS. Or they would call a job. They weren't really calling the police. I also think, is that based off the makeup of the audience. Skinny got a lot of black people watching him. They not really going to call a SWAT in. You feel me? I feel like
that's true.
If you think about it, the audience that is following him, a black audience, is not necessarily going to call a SWAT, a wellness check. They're not going to do that.
They'll go other routes, but they're not going to go that route. They might call a job,
which is why the situation happened with Jules.
Contact family members. They'll do all that wild shit.
Controller's audience is more of like CPS calling. You know what I'm saying?
Cop callers.
Yeah, then you got like Gamble, his community more like calling the SWAT, calling the wellness check.
Yeah,
it's really based off the genital makeup of the of the opponent. And I always told Jules, bro, like, the opponent I may have right now may not be calling CPS, but one day, my nigga, CPS is gonna show up to that door. And at least I've always thought a person that smokes, right? A person that smokes constantly. Let's say if I was a weed smoker, I'm constantly smoking in here, bro. Smoking, right? When a person that don't smoke walks in here, they could smell weed.
Yeah, this is noticeable.
It's noticeable.
Especially if you're smoking out of any type of tobacco, like a blunt. Yes, that shit gonna super linger around. That shit gonna linger. Yeah.
The thing is
that's scientific. That's scientific.
A weed smoker may not pick it up.
Yeah.
It may not hit them because their nose is so used to that weed smell. But a person that doesn't smoke no weed at all, my nigga, they could smell you a mile away.
Yeah.
They could smell you a mile away.
Especially when you're burning it. Like if you the only way you're not gonna smell it is like if you're vaping it, like remember J-Dot used to have those big bags, those big ass turkey bags, right? If you're doing it like that, there's not the smell's not gonna linger more than 5 minutes. If you do it with the dab, the pen, same thing, 2 minutes, the smell gone. Even if you do a dab, right? That shit might linger for 5 or 10 minutes, but really, when you hit a flame to flower, yeah, that shit gonna linger for like an hour, nigga. More than an hour, you know, depending on your ventilation.
And Jules,
you know?
Jules is a 99.99% smoking blunts.
Yeah, the flame to the yeah.
That girl not smoking no fucking pipe. That girl not smoking.
Yeah, the pipe. That's why I fuck with the pipe, because the pipe is like, the smell lingers, but it's like half an hour, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Blunt, that shit gonna be there, boy. That shit gonna be there, bro.
Jules is one of them niggas that she buy the whole box of the blunts.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So definitely
I used to be that way too, but that shit stink, bro. That shit stinks so bad, bro.
All right, salute.
You get higher, you get the nicotine plus the weed, but
yeah,
that shit stink, bro.
Process. They haven't learned. They haven't been bored. And you know,
what about a
according
2-month-old
to law,
baby? What about a
until that
4-month-old
child-
baby? They've never
until
learned
that
anything at that
child
point. They don't have a
has-
thought
yes,
process.
is actually learning.
What about a
from the
person in
time
a
that it
coma?
comes out of the
What
womb.
about someone who's
But
born who's brain dead?
Those who say that, if like the law says that a fetus is not a baby until it is viable outside of the womb, okay? Those same laws and regulations that still constitute someone to be charged with murder or even manslaughter if there was an accident.
There's a difference between
those
what's
should be
law
changed.
and what's moral. Something can be legal and entirely immoral.
Okay, and there's in the sense of who does it benefit though? Who is it benefiting?
Okay, a good example would be, let's say, slave owners. It was legal at one point and it benefited slave owners, right? They could control the body. Can I finish? They could control the bodies of other human beings. Abortion only benefits the people who are killing other lives, often out of convenience. It certainly is harmful to the baby inside of the womb. So I do think it's very important here for you to define what constitutes a human life. Why is that baby, let's say, in the womb? It seems for you, your definition is viability. What constitutes a human life? When is it okay?
When the child is viable outside of the womb, and that does not happen.
Okay, when's that?
Until about 5 to 6 months of pregnancy.
So
we've already talked about late-term abortions occur in the 3rd trimester. I believe if you've had that baby for 6 months, have the damn baby.
So you're against late-term abortion?
Yes. If it's you know, women who do have late-term abortions, they're not out here walking around at 8 months pregnant saying, you know what? I don't feel like having this baby anymore. Let's just get rid of it.
Sure they are.
No, they're not.
That's almost all late-term abortions.
There's a majority that are medically induced and necessary.
No, not a majority.
Well, whatever ones
As a matter
that
of
are
fact,
not,
nearly
then those
never,
are not
nearly
supported.
never is a late-term abortion.
Then those
medically
are not what
necessary.
I support.
Okay, so you would be against late-term abortions.
If it's not medically necessary, yes.
Sure. Okay, so you would be against most late-term abortions.
If they're not medically necessary, yes.
Okay, so are you aware of the Born Alive Survived Abortion Infant Protection Act that just was presented and all major Democratic presidential candidates voted against?
What are you talking about?
So here, let me present you this bill, because it sounds like we might find some common ground here. This is a bill proposed for babies who survive abortions.
In terms, what term were they aborted? At what point?
Well, no, this is about all babies who survive abortions, whether it be later term or.
You have to ask.
Babies survive abortion?
How can a baby survive an abortion?
That's a real thing?
That's wild. Let me see.
What the fuck?
At times an abortion procedure can result in a child being born alive. Damn.
How the fuck? Damn. How the fuck? Are these like, do we have superhero babies out here?
That's crazy,
what
bro.
the fuck is going on? What the fuck?
I always thought, because if you really think about it, we are all winners. We are all that one sperm that made it, right? But imagine fucking being the one sperm that made it. You think you got a shot at life, and now you go into a situation where, you know, like you getting aborted, and you survive.
You get attacked, and you survive the attack. Yo,
that's crazy.
What the fuck?
That's crazy. Okay, you have no other choice but to succeed in life. You have to. It's a have to.
You can read it right here. What it basically requires is that doctors simply provide the same kind of medical care to born babies from survived abortions as born babies who didn't survive attempted abortions. Every major DNC candidate voted against that protection. What would you say to that? Does that make it moral?
No, that's not in the sense of like moralities when it comes to having the abortion in general. You're talking about saving a child who did actually survive.
Survive an abortion, yeah.
In that point, yeah, you do have that common ground. But what we're talking about today is the initial access of abortions and women who need them.
Sure.
Because
you've not convinced me that women need them. Certainly, they don't need them. They don't need to kill another human being.
You may not feel like they need them, but you know what? I'm prospering. I'm actually out here. I'm creating a life for myself, and I'm hoping to make a future for myself. And other women are on the same page as I am.
Are you saying that you've had an abortion? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not going to say that publicly because
okay. Well, you
that's
just
none of
came
your
out here and said you just said I'm prospering. You just brought up abortion, so I'm confused as to the train of logic. Why does that matter?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
You know what? I had to sit in that chair, and I had to face the facts that yes, what I was doing was something that was going to change my future, and it did, because I was left alone. I was left to pay for everything. I did not qualify for any kind of funding or payments that people say exist. And everybody who wants to say I would have adopted your baby, I'm sorry, but go adopt the other 4,000 that are already in foster care programs here. And you can't tell me.
Just because not everyone here would adopt.
All right, real quick, man. How much does the abortion pill cost? A medical abortion can cost up to around $800.
Damn.
But it's often less. The average cost at Planned Parenthood is around $580.
Damn, that's still up. I remember it used to be like 400, 450, but you know, inflation and shit, you know.
Let me tell you something, bro. $580, all right? It definitely a lot of money, right? But you know, to think that you are not ready for a baby and you don't got $580 to take care of that.
What's that, 3 pairs of Jordans?
Yeah, like, bro, that just goes to show you that, bro, like people, and I feel like most people are not prepared to have children. It just is one of those, oh shit, I'm pregnant. No, you know, like it's hardly ever when people are planning it. Now, I want to give a big shout out to Light Skin.
There you go.
To Light Skin. Light Skin did his thing.
And Bull.
Achieved success. So did his wife. And they sat down and planned to have a baby.
And Bull.
Yeah.
Bull did as well.
That's how
so
it should be, bro. That's how it should be. It should be planning. It shouldn't be a surprise. It shouldn't be, oh my God, what are we going to do now?
You should have savings in the bank, right? KK tried to play me because I said I need like $250,000 before I think about having children.
Damn.
Right? You feel me? But that's what I need. Because look, I know at the end of the day, if I want a house that's worth like, you know, $700,000 or some shit, nigga, the down payment is like $150,000.
Yeah.
I know that. Yeah. Then you got closing costs, another $30,000. You know what I'm saying? So, nigga, I need $250,000 because I know what it's gonna take. The fuck?
And you know what? Come to think about it, bro. Like, even you saying the $250,000, it sounds like a lot of money, but it really isn't.
It's not. It's not.
It really isn't. Imagine if you really think about it, $250,000. You know, with all those expenses that you said, think about it. Like, you have to keep on making money. So now you gotta pay child services for people to watch your shit. Excuse me, I'm saying shit. I mean.
Nah, yeah, but that's I understand. Yeah.
Imagine, and that shit is expensive, bruh.
Expensive.
Like $500 a week, $600 a week.
Oh my gosh.
So motherfuckers could watch your child, nigga, so that you could go make money. My gosh. And to me, that's so stupid because, like, what's the point of having a child if then you're sending it to another person to raise it so that you could continue trying to make money to pay the bills?
Gotta make the money to pay the bills.
You feel me? Like, why not develop all that in the beginning, right? Develop that success, that plan, that saved money, so that when your baby gets here, my nigga, you could spend time raising your baby.
or have abuelita, right? But that's the part, like, a lot of people don't even have that connection, but most people do, respectfully.
I like
the grandmas
I like the families that have abuelitas.
You feel me? She got the little she got the room downstairs.
Yeah.
You feel me? She holding it down. And I would much rather have that individual raising my child at home versus a daycare center. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd rather have that. Whether it's my mom or my shorty's mom, I'd rather that situation. You feel me?
Yeah,
that's what they did. That's what they supposed to be there for.
Centers, but like, come on, like, let's be for real, bro. Like, you dropping your kid off at a location where, bro, there's mad other kids there, and bro,
man,
like, look at the staff. Like, it's not like there's one staff member per baby.
Hell no.
It's one staff member that has to take care of a bunch of babies. Who even knows if that person like has their own babies that are, and like, they're not even giving your child like that exclusive attention.
Yeah.
That
Lita gonna give it.
Love,
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
Look at again, shout out to Tony again. Tony is in a situation where, being an entrepreneur allows him to be around his son all day long.
Yeah, that's
all
true.
day long. That nigga takes breaks. That nigga goes. He hangs out with his son. He fucking feeds his son. He takes naps with his son. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know everybody can't do that, but like, what's your excuse for not being able to do it? Your excuse is that you just had a baby during a time that you don't need to be having no baby.
Yeah.
Or you didn't line up. Like, you didn't meet the right partner for you guys to plan this out and say, hey, listen, honey, I love you. You love me. Hey, in 5 years, we're going to have this baby. So for the next 5 years, let's fucking grind. Let's hustle. At the same time, let's take trips. Let's enjoy each other's company, because once that baby comes, it's going to be harder for us to enjoy each other's company. We're going to have to share this now with the baby. And I think a lot of people don't realize that. They start having 1 baby, 2 baby, 3 baby, 4 baby, and then there's no you're almost losing out on the relationship with you and this significant other, because you have to spend all this time on these children.
Yeah, you're splitting your attention at that point.
And I don't think people really prepare for that. So like, when I hear someone like Tony, where there is preparation leading up to it, I'm like, bro, like I feel like that's going to be a successful child. That's going to be a child that's going to be able to get that love from both parties, is raised within the family, is not being hauled off to some fucking daycare every day. That's going to be a successful child, versus some of these other childs that you don't know. Like, you're just putting the child in the hands of like strangers and saying, here's $500. I trust you.
Crazy as hell.
You don't know who the fuck that person is at that fucking daycare, nigga.
Right, facts. I'd rather give that to my mom. I'd rather give that shit to my mom.
Yeah, facts.
You feel me?
And really, like, a lot of people don't really look at it like that. They look at abuelita and they automatically see free. Now,
nah, hell nah.
Listen, perfect. Ooh, every time I get to drag this bitch, I'm gonna drag her. Okay? Let me tell you something. Jules' mama was damn near in her 70s, still working. All right? Still working. She has her oldest daughter, which to me is successful. Jules is obviously just falls in second place, right? The brother dead last. Okay. At one point in time, I had a conversation with Jules. All right, because I think the mom, I think the brother was still living with the mom, and mom's still working, paying like a portion of the rent. The brother paying a portion of the rent, and then he got himself a girlfriend. I think he wanted to go do his thing. And I think by this time, Jules's pops had passed already, right? So they was trying to figure out what to do with the mama. And I remember having a conversation and saying, Jules, with this big ass house that you got, my nigga, and all these rooms that you got, my nigga, why you don't offer your mom the room downstairs for free, nigga? Let her live there for free. No rent, nigga. All right, whatever little money she made, let her take that and just blow it. Let her spend it on herself. Don't charge her nothing, right? And Jules actually listened to me. Jules said, you know what? I'm going to do that. Right? Do you know that fucking Jules' mama did not want to move in? I'm talking about free rent, my nigga. Jules' mom turned her down and went to go live with her sister. Do you know why? Do you know why though? This is so ironic, right? Jules' mama turned her down because Jules' mama felt like if she moved in, Jules was going to turn her into a babysitter.
God damn.
Yes, Jules was going to turn her into a babysitter and go be dipping out and going to want to hang out and going to do this and going to do that and leaving the kids with the grandmother. The grandmother turned down fucking free rent in a fucking house. Y'all seen how big Jules' house is?
Yeah,
to go live with the sister at the time that the sister was living in a fucking apartment, my nigga. I think it was maybe a townhouse. I stand corrected. It was a town. It definitely wasn't no house. It was a townhouse. The mom went to live with the sister. Okay, at that time, I think the sister hadn't had the baby yet, because her sister does have a daughter, but I don't think the daughter was around yet. Imagine, you know, not only did she know that her fucking daughter was going to turn her into a babysitter, but she knew it was going to be for the free. That's my point. Motherfucker see abuelita, and you automatically in your brain think free, but you're willing to pay a stranger $500 a week.
Yeah, that's out of pocket. That's out of pocket.
Abuelita is one-on-one with your child. The $500 a week you paying for your child to mingle with other children in there.
Yeah.
Now, I get where some women might say, oh, but, you know, it gives the child social skills, you know? And, okay, cool, that's cool. Like, I get it. You know, I would much rather Abuelita be focused one-on-one with him or her, you know, versus whatever social skills you think that you're developing from sending your child over there for $500 a week.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'd much rather Abuelita, you know, be working with the baby and one-on-one and doing little teachings and stuff like that. And, you know, and then, you know, at some point in time, the child will have to go to school and stuff. And that's where they could learn the social skills.
No, come on. It's before that, you go to the playground.
Yeah.
I believe they're gonna take the fucking baby to the playground and shit too. That's where you're gonna find your first friends, at the playgrounds.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
definitely true. That's definitely true. There's always the taking it to the park.
Come on, people are worried about the wrong thing. Even if you get homeschooled, even homeschools have a network where the parents meet up weekly with the kids and they mingle and shit like that. They go and do outside activities and hikes and shit like that. Like, bro, it's not that serious, bro. It's not that serious. But once again, you have to be willing to have that curriculum, right? You got to be willing to have the grandmother that's taking the kid to the playground. But those things are still there. Those environments are there. Those activities are there. You just have to be willing to present the child to that, you know?
Yeah.
But don't get me wrong. Some of these parents nowadays, they rather just stick a tablet or a TV or a phone in front of the fucking kid and then fucking dip off, you know what I'm saying? Which to me is out of pocket.
Yeah.
That's out of pocket, yeah.
And at the very least, like, if you're willing to pay a fucking stranger $500, my nigga, throw Abuelita $250, my nigga.
$250, $300, you know what I mean? Like, come on,
you
man.
know?
And she gonna love it.
Again,
and she gonna love
motivated, my nigga.
Yo.
If she getting $300, bro, she gonna be
rent free. Plus, she getting fucking $300 a week. She can get her hair done, her nails done. She could buy whatever the fuck she want. Oh, come on, man.
She just want to get her nails done, her hair done, and go to bingo, nigga.
Yeah.
$300, you saving yourself too. I'm saying you so fucking quick to give the $500 to a total fucking stranger, but you can't give $250 to your family, a family member to fucking help. Abuelita, you know, that, you know, just shit, crazy, bro.
Crazy.
About that baby doesn't mean it's justifiably killed.
It doesn't mean that it was justifiably meant to force me to have a baby.
No one's forcing you to have a baby.
You would if you took away the law.
No, no one would be forcing you to have a baby. It would simply be forbidding you from killing it.
No, you would be forcing.
No, no one's forcing you to have a baby. The only forcible act there is the act of killing.
How many single women, how many single parents who are women are in poverty? Do you know the percentage?
It could not be less relevant.
How is that less relevant? Because I'm going to tell you from a perspective.
Well, you just asked me, but then you said I'm going to tell you. Did you want to ask me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know the percentage?
It could not be less relevant because you're not justified in killing somebody based on poverty, income, race, sex, gender, period. It's never justified.
That's hilarious because a lot of our politicians have justifiably killed other people for less.
Really?
Yeah.
I can't speak for all politicians, but to go to your argument, I don't believe you're justified in killing someone because of a lower income level.
I feel like I'm justified in saving myself from having to be forced into that lower income level just because I don't have the accesses of other women who are able to have a husband to support them, have the ability to pay the $15,000+ in medical bills.
Because like I said, it's hard to go back. It's hard to go back when you have a baby. Like you talk about going back to school, it's really hard to go back.
Yeah, it's hard to get educated. It's hard to even support yourself. It's hard to breathe right now as it is.
It's hard to go back.
I've always said this, right? I've always said that women have to make very tough choices because majority of the time, the way that society is set up is that you're going to be the one that's stuck.
They get left holding the bag.
Yeah, you get left holding the bag. You're the one that your progress is going to slow down damn near to a fucking halt, right?
Yeah.
You know, like it's just how it's set up. You know, men typically can just pick up and leave. You know, I know it's not the right thing to do, and there's definitely a lot of men out there that continue to hold it down, and I salute you.
Yeah.
But the reality is that most women are gonna get left holding the bag, or should we say, holding the baby. You know, and your progress in life is gonna stop. It's gonna be hard for you to go back to school. It's gonna be hard for you to do this, hard for you to do that. Why? Because you decided to have a baby. You know. And then when you think about it, like, who did you have the baby with? How did you end up here? How did you end up in a situation where you had a baby and the man is no longer around? Okay? But he was a piece of shit. I'm saying he was a piece of shit when he stuck his dick in you. You know, like, why weren't you seeing that he was a piece of shit? You know, was he that good of an actor that he made you feel so comfortable to get up in your pussy, jizz up there, and then he became an asshole? No, he was already a piece of shit. And women have to, take your time. You know what I'm saying? Take your time. If it means you got to make that nigga wait, make him wait, nigga. Don't give him no pussy, nigga. You feel me? Although, like, at the end of the day, I feel like that's the ultimate connection that you need to figure out, So, like, before you even move forward with a man in planning something, planning life, you need to figure out if you guys connect on that type of level. So sex is an important part. Okay? Yeah. That's where it goes to the use protection. Protection's not 100%, but it's a higher percentage of just going raw.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, you're making life choices with individuals that you've only known for maybe a couple of months in some of these instances. You know the nigga for a month or two, and already that's it. You're already having unprotected sex, and the nigga just blasting off inside of you. You know this nigga for a couple of months, and now you making a fucking life choice with this nigga. And then when he picks up and leave, like, you're prepared to be a single mom, and there's a ton of moms out there that are making it work, single moms. But look, perfect time to drag this bitch again. All right, look at Jules. All right, does Jules love her kids? Yeah, 100%. Would Jules rather be running in the streets having fun? Yeah. Okay. How you think I got suckered into babysitting duties all these fucking years?
Damn.
All right. She found someone that whether she looked at me as a good friend, she knew that I was responsible. Okay? You may have heard all types of dirt or all types of accusations of me on the internet, but Jules knows me in real life. And she knows, my nigga, I'm as solid as they come. She knows that she could leave her children with me and fucking dip the fuck off, nigga. Go on vacation, week-long vacations, and never have to worry about anything. Okay? In some instances, I used to be mad at Jules because I used to get to Jules' house on the day that, she's going on vacation. She rushing me to get her to the airport. I drop her off at the airport. I go back home. The bitch ain't even do food shopping, my nigga.
Damn.
Okay, for the longest.
Come on, man.
And I just recently deleted.
Come on, man.
Listen, on my mama, I just deleted it off my phone the other day. I had the Walmart app with all her card information in the Walmart app, and she used to say,
for the delivery.
No, she used to say, no, just go get whatever you need for you and the boys. You know what I'm saying? That bitch ready to fucking skate the fuck out, nigga. Drop me off at the airport. I'm gone. Pew!
Here's my fucking grocery account. Yeah.
Here's my gear. Here's my Walmart. Here's my Walmart. Let me install it in your phone so you could just go in there and just swipe your phone. And I never complained, man. Like I used to say, bro, this is kind of
that's kind of crazy though, bro. Like, come on, man, because I wouldn't want somebody to do that to my kids. Like, let's say I leave my kids, or for example, I use my brother. Like, I wouldn't want my brother to drop off my nieces with me for the weekend or a week or whatever, and there's nothing in the fucking crib. I'm not prepared for them.
Yeah,
that's out of pocket.
Yeah,
that's out of pocket, bro.
Yeah. And then you gotta go make the extra move to go buy stuff and stuff like that.
Last minute, looking crazy.
Right.
Nah.
Jules's defense is always, but I didn't want to take the boys with me because they act up in Walmart.
Nah, I would have been looking at Jules crazy. Like, shorty.
Really? I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah. I drop her off at the fucking the damn airport, and then I go to Walmart with the boys. And then niggas do what I tell them to do.
Come on, man.
Okay.
The thing that she claims she's going to have such a hard time doing.
You know what I'm saying? And I definitely don't want to give like an impression like I'm some fucking, Sergeant Slaughter where I'm, I got to be screaming on them niggas. No, my nigga, like we go to Walmart. I take them with me as a little family, me and my boys. Yo, let's go. Yo, listen, what we eating today? We eating steaks. All right, we got to hit the steak aisle. Yo, Dom, if you want to, grab yourself a snack. Benzie, what you trying to eat for snack? All right, cool. We gonna grab that stuff. And Brand, we all to the races. We good. She act like them niggas is so fucking hard to deal with. And they're just not, at least not for me.
Back in time and unring that bell.
Single person.
Yeah. That baby doesn't get to go back.
That baby was never alive.
Yeah,
because it wasn't until it's outside.
Damn. Cold-blooded. Damn, bro, that baby was never alive.
Damn.
I get the part, at least the heartbeat. The heartbeat, as soon as the heartbeat establishes, bro, that's a human being, bro.
Yeah.
It's life. And then the crazy part is that, like, okay, like. So, and I wonder, let me see, because this definitely got to be a statistic, right? Let me see. How often are women that have abortions coming back for another abortion?
Come on, they getting pregnant again. Abortions again.
Yeah, because at that point, my nigga, you're just reckless with the pussy. Okay, in the United States, about 47% of women.
Half?
My nigga, 47%.
Yo.
In the United States, about 47% of women who have an abortion have had a previous abortion. This is considered common and is known as repeat abortion. However, the circumstances surrounding each abortion are often different, and they can occur at different points in a woman's life.
Oh my God, that's out of pocket.
That's
half
really out of pocket, bro.
Half the bitches having another abortion.
Yeah, and the thing is that I'm looking at that statistic, and I'm trying to take what she's saying into consideration. Where she's saying, I don't want to get left, where I can't go and continue my education and get stuck and this and the third. Yeah. And I'm like, all right, cool, my nigga, but like, how many times you gonna make the same mistake? How many times you gonna make that same mistake of getting pregnant and then wanting to, abort that baby? And then I think that doesn't that affect you as a woman? Like, doesn't it affect your body? I feel like once you get a certain amount of abortions, it's almost certain that like you can't carry.
You're done. Yeah, like you're
doesn't it
cooked
fuck up
at
like
that
your
point.
insides and shit like that?
Yeah, gotta be cooked. Gotta be.
That's crazy, bro. 47%, bro.
I didn't think it was gonna be that high. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just repeating the same mistake over again. So it's just like at that point, like my nigga, like you're not learning anything.
Yeah, she's insane. She's literally insane. Those bitches should be brought up on charges, nigga. The fuck?
What? Maybe so.
You feel me? The fuck? How the fuck you didn't learn after the first one?
Or why didn't you better your situation after the first one?
Yeah, the fuck?
You know?
Yeah, you gotta be you negligent at that point.
Very.
Put that bitch in prison. You feel
Like
me?
how how gullible can you be? Are you just falling for the okie doke that every man gives you?
All of a sudden, you can't. It's your body to protect, but you can't protect it all of a sudden.
Not at all. Not at all. It's your. It is. Literally, it is. It is your body to protect, and you're doing a horrible job of protecting it. You know, and again, you know, this is not trying to drag women or no shots at women or nothing like that, you know, because at the same time, I wish society was different where, you know, more males were, you know, linking up with the females that they want to be with, you know, or at least having unprotected sex with the women that, you know, like you say, you know what, if I have a baby with this woman, I want to be with this woman. Okay. So it'll be a blessing. Versus just trying to get your fucking dick wet, nigga. And then, you know, you dipping off and now you leaving, you know, a woman with a fucking baby. You know, you don't know what type of animosity she has. You know what I'm saying? And now, you know, some other nigga got to come along and, you know, because he interested in the woman, now deal with this baby. You know? And I would much rather an instance where we lived in a society where kids stayed with the real mother and the real father. You know?
Yeah.
Like I'm not totally for stepdaddy. You know what I mean? No offense to my stepdaddies out there. I'm just saying I think it's healthier for a child to be in the home with his actual mother and his actual father.
Yeah.
You know,
that makes
as a
sense.
family, as a unit, working together. You know?
Out of the womb, and we want to go back to technicalities.
That was a baby with its own. Listen, you might not like it. No, that was a baby. Let me tell you something. What you ended was a unique genetic code that had eye color, hair color, how tall it would be, how much it would weigh, its personality, proclivity toward mental illness, what kind of hair pattern to male pattern baldness. When you had that abortion performed, you eliminated all of that. That's a scientific fact.
The fact is that it was a choice and it was something that had to be done because regardless of if it's ugly,
it was medically necessary.
Even if it's not, especially when it's only 6 weeks and you know the heartbeat law. You're familiar, correct?
Sure.
With the heartbeat law.
Yeah, but it's not really consistent. It's not really consistent across the board, though. As we see in Texas, you can have abortions up to 20 weeks. No, I believe that life begins at conception.
You believe that life begins at conception.
Yeah.
See, I believe that life begins when the child is viable outside of the womb within the 3rd trimester.
So you just said viable, but you pointed to 10 weeks.
I didn't technically point at something. You're just trying to get very technical. I just was.
Well, no, I think it's important. Where is a baby viable?
Broad aspect. I'm not a doctor and I'm not a scientist, so I'm not going to say that on record and sit here and make myself look ignorant whenever you're probably prepared with the facts.
Well,
I wasn't prepared for this. I came out.
I appreciate it. Let me ask you this. This is an important question. A human being alive today, are they worth more than a human being alive 200 years ago?
I don't know, are they?
I don't believe so. I'm asking you.
You don't believe so?
No, I don't believe their life is worth more than a human being born 50 years ago, 100 years ago, 200 years ago.
Okay.
I believe that human life is intrinsically valuable.
Intrinsically valuable at any stage
life.
And point,
yes.
Correct?
And right now we're talking about 2 25-year-olds. Right, a human being, 25 years old in 2018, 25 years old in the year 1918. Would we agree? Would you place more value on one person in a certain point in time than the other person? Okay, let's go a step further. I don't believe that a wealthy white male on the Upper East Side of Manhattan, I don't believe that his life is worth any more than a poor black female's in Louisiana. Would we agree?
Obviously you agree, but you know what? The way that the laws are set up, I would agree, but
this is important.
No, you're using a theory because technically look at the laws and look at how it works and the way our judicial system works. The Manhattan man does actually have more value because he has more money in his pocket.
Well, he does according to you. He does according to you.
No, according to the laws.
No, according to you, and here's why.
It's because he can pay that bail bond to get out, and he can pay for whatever he wants.
I know you said that you're not prepared, and so you don't want me to present the facts, but you're going to have to allow me to do so at some point.
It's not necessarily I don't want you to present the facts. It's the fact that I want you to recognize that there are other people that do actually have an opposing opinion other than yours that don't believe that life does begin at conception.
That's why I'm here. I recognize your opinion. I recognize you have an opinion, and I recognize you have a right to an opinion. I believe it's wrong.
I believe you're wrong.
That's fine. So let me present my opinion so you fully understand it. You use viability as a measurement for a human being. There are a lot of parameters there that could change it. Now, the reason I bring up someone in the Upper East Side versus a poor person in Louisiana is with the modern innovations in technology and science, particularly medical innovations, you can have a baby that's completely viable in Manhattan, and that exact same baby, that exact same length along in the pregnancy is not viable in, let's say, the hills of West Virginia or in Louisiana because they don't have access to the same medical care. Is one baby a life and one isn't?
I don't understand what you're saying.
If a baby survives because it's born in Lenox Hill in Manhattan at 21 weeks, and that same baby dies in Louisiana, one is a life, one is a human life, and one's not?
I don't understand that you're... Well, are you saying you're trying to link...
viability is not standard.
You're trying to link viability to worth.
No, you just said that viability is what determines human life. What I'm saying is that's not consistent. So does that mean that a human life, the value of a life, is different in New York, in the city, than in, let's say,
about
Louisiana?
Geographic location. I'm talking
yes, because
about
that determines
time.
viability.
No, time determines viability.
No, what I'm saying is the exact same time. A baby, let's say 22 weeks along in New York, in the greatest hospital in the country. That same baby, 22 weeks along in the bayou in Louisiana. One lives at 22 weeks, one doesn't because of modern medical care. One is viable, one is not. You believe that that's a consistent measurement of the value of human life?
I mean, is it viable? Viability is the determination on if it's alive, so then no.
It's not.
So it's not viable. If it dies at 22 weeks in one location, whether it doesn't matter its geographical location.
So in your view, people who come from a privileged upper class with better access to medical care are worth more as human beings, certainly in utero.
That's the way our system is set up, and I think it should be changed. You just, shrunk away, but that's the truth. No. I'm sorry, but the person who can afford the medical bills and the person who can afford...
The only difference here is there's one of us saying, if you're going to talk about changing the system, I'm saying we need a system that recognizes human life both in Louisiana, the hills
why
of
don't
West
you
Virginia,
face the fact of ask yourself, why are these women feeling as though they need one? Why do these women feel as though they can't take care of a baby? Because I can tell you right now, if I had the perfect job, the perfect husband, the perfect life, I definitely would have had a baby.
Well, I tell you what, I certainly don't have any of those things, but I wouldn't feel justified in killing another human being.
Well, there you have it. What do you think? Let me know below. Are you pro-life, pro-choice? Is it determined by socioeconomic status, ethnic minority status, where life begins? Let me know. And stay tuned for part 2 of this.
All right. Salute. Shout out to Jonathan, bro. Like, I like this right here. Hold on. I got to hit that subscribe, man. All right. Yeah.
How's she going to say she's not prepared, but she's going to an event that's specific for that? Look at all those people. There was literally a crowd standing around her.
That's why I wonder, do they already know ahead of time? Like,
yeah, they know what the fuck going on.
And even let's say that you don't even know until he shows up to the campus what the topic is. You see all the people there. Like, she wasn't the first person to go up there to talk to him.
Why would she get in line to even talk to the nigga if she's not prepared, right?
When she sat down, she said, yo,
man.
I gotta calm myself down. That means that you've been watching, and in your mind,
right?
You already
Anxiety's
developing the conversation you're gonna have with him. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, come on, man. Salute to her though. He had her looking crazy. All
right. Let me see.
Yo, my nigga, it's about to be 5:30 in the morning?
Yes, sir.
What the fuck is wrong with us, nigga?
That's that shit that we have motherfuckers interested, man.
Holy shit.
Yeah, man.
Salute.
5:30 in the motherfucking morning. Let me see, man.